you need D&D. And no, I'm not talking about Dungeons and Dragons. I'm so sorry to disappoint you. What I'm actually talking about is that if you suffer from procrastination, you need a digital detox and decision reduction. And both will lead to less distractions and higher availability of dopamine. So everyone is talking about dopamine. And that's because it's very important, because it drives the brain's reward system. Every time you decide to do a task, your brain has to calculate the cost and the benefit of actually doing it. And when you make a lot of decisions and binge watch videos or doom scroll on social media, it takes a lot of energy for the brain. And the more energy is used, the lower availability of dopamine you have left for hard tasks. So that's why it's so difficult to start something when you've done so much, like watching nonstop and doom scrolling, because your brain perceives doing the task you have been avoiding as a higher cost than a reward or a benefit. You won't start, because why should you if there's no reason to, right? It's not rewarding. The problem then is it reinforces you to not do anything in the future as well. Because when you're procrastinating, you're already struggling internally, right? You're fighting this urge of not doing anything. You want to do something, and then if your brain says, well, there is no reason to do anyway, so don't, then it's just even more burdensome. This is also, you can see this especially in busy people or successful people. They oftentimes wear the same clothes over and over again, or they wear the same colors. They have the same breakfast every day, or maybe the same lunch or dinner, or in general they eat the same every day. It's because the less decisions they have to make, the more energy the brain has for really the hard tasks or for all the things that matter to you. And it's reason why they do this, right? So if they benefit from that, then you can benefit from that too. This leads me to this other trend that's going on right now. You've probably encountered numerous videos about boredom. You should be bored. I don't know, everyone has the different take on that. What boredom actually is just less distractions. You're not doing anything, right? You're just sitting there and don't do anything. And some people say, oh, then you will have kind of like revelations about yourself, what you want to do with your life or something like that. But you can actually use boredom as a tool to get started. And what I mean by that is you have to decide on the one thing that you've been avoiding and that you want to start, whether that's a business or a project or just a hobby. Maybe you want to start writing a book or anything. You can utilize this boredom, or rather less distractions, so that when you start this one thing, that you have made all the other decisions beforehand. So when you actually start, there's nothing left for you to decide on. And there's no other alternative for you than to start. So you're not doom scrolling, you're not wasting your brain's precious energy on doom scrolling on social media and comparing yourself to other people in your life or other people on social media, because it's not helpful at all. You are just wasting your potential like that. And it's so sad to see people wasting away their life because they're so addicted to social media and digital aspects in general. This is something you could do. So for example, let's say you really want to start writing the book. What you have to do is you have to make the decisions beforehand. It's best to do this at least one day prior. So if you want to start tomorrow writing the book, then you have to make it possible for you to immediately start tomorrow. That means you could just lay out pen and paper if you want to write manually, handwritten, or you open your notebook and kind of like select a document so you can type right away. So as soon as you open it, you can start right away. You have to reduce the friction as much as possible. And both things will help you start. But you should not start today, because you've probably watched a ton of videos already, because if you found this video a very unpopular video, then you've probably watched quite a lot already. So please don't do this today. It's probably you're low on energy anyway, so it won't feel rewarding if you start. And this is just reinforcing this vicious cycle, which you don't want to. So what you do after you have made the steps to start as easy as possible, that there's nothing left to decide on but to start. You will wake up tomorrow or whenever you decide to do this. You should not use your phone the first 30 to 60 minutes in the morning. I know everyone is talking about it, but it really works. It really works. And I suggest and recommend that you also turn off the notifications, because it's so distracting, always hearing a ping or some kind of sound. And if you're sensitive, it just drives you crazy, because it's always demanding attention, and this is something we don't want. So it's best to leave it off in general. You can decide on times when you want to check your emails, for example. If you have to go to work in the morning, of course, and you need to check something, your notifications or something work related, then you can do this. But try not to do anything else with your smartphone other than checking for work related stuff. And make the morning about yourself. So take your time for your daily routine. You can play, for example, some background music, something that's kind of relaxing, because it helps you lower cortisol as well. I highly recommend walking, because it helps lower cortisol in the morning as well, which makes you less stressed, and yeah, it's easier for you to focus then. And when it's time to start, the one thing you have been avoiding for weeks, months, years, I don't know, you can do this. You have to really stick to this plan of not doing anything else but this one thing. Only decide on this one thing. And because your past self has already done the work for you, like reducing the task so that you only need to start, it becomes so much easier to actually start. Of course, it might not work if you had to go to your job previously. You know, if you wanted to do something after work and you're totally drained, then it doesn't make any sense. But at least try it on the weekend. At least try it on the weekend, because the weekend is over so fast. It's gone in the blink of an eye, and then you wonder what has become of the weekend. It just started and now it's already gone. And don't waste the time. You will be surprised how much you can actually achieve in 2 days. Really, in the past months, I've achieved more than in the whole last year, really. And I've been procrastinating for probably at least 15 years. And I've suffered from perfectionism as well, and overthinking non-stop. And now I work on the stuff that's important to me every day. I can't do anything else, actually. I've been a heavy video game player back then, and it's not who I am anymore. So if I can start doing something important, then you can start doing something important as well. And if you really do this, if you really stick to this, then you will go from high stimulation or high digital stimulation and many distractions and low energy, which then reinforces your procrastination and leads to overall guilt because you have not started. You will, at some point, you will just resent yourself that you have not started. And, you know, time will pass anyway, whether you do the thing or not. You could be highly successful in 1 year. You could written your book maybe when it takes a lot of time, it probably takes some years maybe, but let's say in 2 years. 2 years are gone quite fast as well, so you might actually be successful by then. If you start now, think of your future self. Please think about your future self, and what it wants in life. And if you've done everything right, you will have less distractions and less stimulation. You will have less decisions to make, and this will lead to higher availability of dopamine. You will have more energy to do the hard things, and this will lead to action. When you have high levels of dopamine, it's more likely for you to start the thing, and if you start the thing, it will feel rewarding, and you can actually reward yourself. You know, if you really want to watch a video on Netflix or eat something tasty or play a video game, you can do that because you deserve it. You have achieved something, you're proud of you then, and it's absolutely fine to then consume something. But if you create something first and use the energy for that, then the leftover energy can be used for all the other stuff that's actually not really important to achieve whatever dream you have in life. And if you do this once, it will lead to momentum because you know you can do the hard work, you can know you can trust yourself, and you can actually start. And I tell you really from my own personal experience that it's possible. If I can start, then you can start too. If I can make videos, then so you can too. Please try it, and if you have any questions or recommendations or suggestions or questions, you can leave it in the comments below. And also, if you don't know yet what you want to do with your life, I made a free ChatGPT prompt to create the ideal future as a vision, and ChatGPT will guide you through and generate at the end kind of like a vision board image and another image as well that you can use as guidance and to visualize the future that you actually want. And it will use your actual words and not come up with something itself. So it's really a piece only for yourself. You can find this in the description below. I've also made a 7-day challenge. If you want to really tackle and start one thing, you can try this. I've also made courses to help you begin, and you can find everything in the description below. So yeah, I hope it helped, and until next time, bye!